So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Senator Fraser.
Thanks Alex, and thanks Bill for inviting me here now tonight. Just on Johnny Wharton, who is not here. He's a great mayor, done a lot for the Richmond area, and he's not here, but he sent his sister along instead, who just happens to be my wife. So. Anyway, he's also championing an irrigation scheme in the on the Flinders, and I'm sure that we'll get support from the KAP state guys who have done a great job here. Nick and Shane and Rob, they've done a great job for Queensland. They've got a few bills through that are pretty much unheard of for a little party like KAP. So I'm very happy to be joining KAP, and hopefully between the lot of us we'll get a lot done for Queensland. The reason we're all here, I guess, is as you know, we've had a pretty lousy go. I come from, as Alex said, up near, our family got to Charters Towers before Charters Towers was there, just like Bob Catter's family. We've been there since 1860 and grazing, and for the last 150 years this country has been built on on the sheep's back for a start off. Wool was the big export income earner, then beef, then the minerals, the coal, the copper and the bauxite. After that, the bananas and sugar built this country. There's been a river of gold flowing south for the last 150 years, and very little of it ever comes back up here for the things that we desperately need, which is infrastructure projects. We need roads, rail, and we need jobs up here, and those are the things that will create jobs, and that's what I'm involved in trying to get done. We're talking about an extra 12 senators from a North Queensland state. It's really not numbers, it's the quality of people that you have there. I've been a bit surprised getting down there, well maybe I wasn't too surprised, but into the Senate, and you find that there's some really good hard-working people who are doing the right thing for their states, their constituents. But there's a lot of people there who are polishing seats, and they've been there for years. A lot of them have come out of school into university, get their law degree or whatever it is, and then we find them sitting on a seat in the Senate or in the lower house, and they're really yelling at each other across the floor, and that's about the most that they'll ever do. So we need people who are passionate about what they're doing and will work for the country, as Bob has, and as these three gentlemen in the front row have been doing. So we talk about what we don't have here. There's tons that we could talk about. Alex was talking about Townsville. Their water problem there is, it's down to you've got a choice. You can clean your teeth or flush the toilet, and that's about as much water as the poor buggers have got. They're paying $35,000 a day to pump water into the Ross Dam. That's going to be go up to $50,000 in the next couple of months if they get their second pipeline. That's madness to be able to be paying $50,000 a day just to have some water. Where if we could raise the Burdekin like we'd love to do, and we can gravity feed water down there and make pretty much the capital of North Queensland. I guess we could have some arguments over Cairns or Townsville, but the biggest city in North Queensland, you could have a consistent water supply. The other issues are the infrastructure that hasn't been built here. We need the Hells Gate Dam, the Burdekin, raising the Burdekin wall not 2 metres but 14.5 metres, Tully Mill Stream, the rest of the dams that we need for the Bradfield scheme. We've been talking about the Bradfield scheme now for 80 years. My dad wanted it and his dad wanted it, so that's 3 generations of us that have been pushing for something like that. I've just done a trip in California to look at their irrigation program. California is irrigating 10 million acres and growing some of the best crops in the world. They're, as you drive through hundreds of kilometres of their area, there's people working in every field, not hundreds of people, but many, many thousands of people. We can do exactly the same thing. California, by the way, is now the 5th largest economy in the world. One state in America, the 5th largest economy. They just surpassed Great Britain, and they did it all on agriculture, 99% of it, because I can tell you the movie stars don't contribute much. So we can do exactly the same thing with the Bradfield scheme. We can water all that barren inland. Instead of having all our cattle and sheep die every drought, we can drought-proof it. The best drought aid you can give a farmer is a bit of water. He'll look after the rest of it. A truckload of hay doesn't last you long, I can tell you, when you've got 8 or 10,000 cattle around, or dying, I should say. So we could be that can generate a massive amount of money for our economy, and that benefits all of Queensland, but also all of Australia. So it's not just about us, I guess. It's they'll get more money from us. So we desperately need to do that. It's imperative that we start producing wealth again. The problem with that we've been doing in the last 30 or 40 years since Joe was here was we're absorbing wealth. We're drilling tunnels under the rivers and building all sorts of vanity things that get somebody elected, but it's not producing any more wealth. We have a $560 billion debt right now. That's unheard of in Australia's history. We need to get that down. We need to start producing the wealth that we need, and the only way we're going to do it was with these sort of nation-building infrastructure schemes, and this is a place to do it. So all I can say is that I'll continue to fight for it. I'm with a good group now, the KAP party, and I wouldn't be surprised if there's more to come to join us, and we'll keep fighting the good battle. So thank you very much.
I'm sure you all know that the political system in Australia is each state has 12 senators, the territories have 6. In Queensland at the moment, we have the same number of senators for a population of 5 million people as Tasmania does with a population of 500,000. And of our 12 senators, I believe we only have 2 in regional North Queensland, and that's Senator Fraser and Senator Ian McDonald from the Burdekin. Is that right, Fraser? Is that? And Matt Gallagher? Sorry, 3. So again, you can see the imbalance in representation even in the Senate, that we have such poor representation where somewhere like Tasmania has overly